I've brought some vintage bedding from the 1980s. Let's have a little look at it, and we're going to wash it vintage style. And you're watching Florence Ballard A3060 on film.
Florence Ballard A3060.
Doors will open on the right-hand side.
Right, so, even though it's a video about a washing machine, I thought I'd do it this way. I needed some new bedding. As you know, the Habitat bedding I've got, if you even pay attention to any of my bedding, but the bedding that I have got, which is the grey and white stripe one, from 2 years ago, it started sort of ripping and the buttons are falling out. Yes, you probably see the photo of the Hoover 6 there. I have got a photo of washing machines there, the 3 in my collection, but I'm going to arrange it so they go on the top. Anyway, so I got that because it was vintage style. But for someone who loves vintage things, vintage style modern stuff I don't get on with, because it's not actually vintage. It's just made to look vintage. But when you talk about actual vintage stuff, the term means something that's old. Now, there's a general conception of a mix-up about at what age should you define something as vintage. Now, everyone's got their own way. I don't agree with the way the internet says it. Anything 20 years or older is vintage. No, to me, 20-year-old is classic. Because, for example, you're saying then that basically my Hoover 6 is vintage. There's no way that's a vintage machine. No. To be fair, that machine could still sell as a modern machine. But it's not. It doesn't look vintage. In about maybe another 10 years, yes, that look may be outdated and vintage, but we don't know. To me, the 9530, so in my collection, the washing machines that are vintage are, of course, the Hoover A3060 and the Electron, because they're over 30 years, the Hotpoint 9530. But the Hoover 6 is, well, classic. Or, I don't know, you could call that machine modern vintage. But, so, I wanted actual vintage bedding, as in something that's aged to be called vintage. It doesn't look vintage. I got this off eBay for about, I think I paid about £15 for it or something. It's from a brand called Jonelle. Now, I don't know much about it. I don't know if this was a John Lewis thing. Perhaps someone here who was around in the 80s, you might be able to tell me a bit more about this. There's anyone in the live premiere chat right now who's probably be able to tell me that. I found this on eBay and I got it like 3 days later. Now, what I wanted to do was have a special wash. I've currently got the Hotpoint 9530 in, specifically just for this. I wanted to wash this in a vintage machine. However, I've also got to add, I have got a temporary machine currently sat outside of my car right now. It's a Beko. That's coming in after the 9530. So I thought we'd get on and do this. Now, I don't really own any vintage detergents. I do have that whisk liquid, but that's horrible stuff because it doesn't smell of anything. But I do have, as I remembered, Miracle ACDO powder, which was meant to be finished up on the Hoover A3060, but I never got around to finishing it. I know it's from the 70s. It's not. I wanted to do it from the 80s, but I didn't want to just go and buy a box of vintage detergent off eBay, which is like £27, because of its thing of not being open, and then just not end up using it in anything else. So I'm going to use that, and I think I've got some of the old Lenor or Comfort that is about from 2012. It's like 12 years old. So I could probably use that. So here we go. Because of course the detergent that came, the condition that came with that whisk, it wasn't necessarily. It was globules. It was of Comfort that had to be like wax. Anyway, I'm going to open this now. We'll sort of smell it and see what it's like. So even here, there's a price tag on it that it was. I can't tell any. I don't know if anyone would know what kind of store uses this kind of label. It was £14, which is probably for that day. It was probably expensive. So I don't know who this is from. Jonelle. That's what it's meant to look like. And I really want to get one of these. Like, I can't remember what they're called again. Those kind of sheets. Mom's got it on her bed. Trouble is I have a sofa bed, so it technically wouldn't really work. But there's nothing here that really tells me. Double quilt cover Harlequin Muli. And it tells you to wash it on program 4, 50 degrees Celsius, hand hot. But I'm going to wash it on 60, on cotton 60. I'm not going to boil wash it until I see how it performs with the 60, because if I boil wash it, there's a chance that it could just fall apart. Remember, this has been in someone's storage for like 30 odd years. Let's see what we get, shall we? Just get 2 quilt covers. Don't have a sheet with it, but there we go. Should get 2, so that's going to go there. Not quilt covers, pillowcases. Oh no, this is just the quilt cover. This is just the quilt cover, not the pillowcase with it. It has got a very old smell, but oh, I could breathe that in all day, that smell. There's a smell where you have when you know something is vintage. Oh, that is lovely. It's a shame to have to wash it and take that smell away, but at the end of the day, we don't know what kind of storage it's been in. It's a really odd material, but it's nice. So, you're going to stick that in the 9530, see what it's like. And yeah, it's just the quilt cover, but I've got some white pillowcases that could go with this. I might better throw it in with the wash. Let's go. Nice to see her again, isn't it? Right, so what we got is Miracle ACDO, and this is the oldest conditioner I've got, from like 2012 or so. Yeah. I do have some of that whisk liquid that we got on this one time, but it smells of nothing. Now I am going to cheat a little bit and put a bit of fragrance boosters in, but I'm literally going to throw in like just about that much, because I do want to be a little bit of freshness, but it's not enough that it'll overpower everything. So I've selected these 2 pillowcases that can go with it. I've got a white one and a grey one there. Yeah, nice soft material. Nice old hotel sheet. Then, to think back in the day, someone would have washed something like this in one of these. I just want to make sure that it is buttoned up. I don't know where the end of it is. Oh, it does use those kind of buttons, lovely. Oh wow, look at this. Look at the colour of the buttons as well. It's like that old, I think these were white at first, now they've gone. Thing is, I hate to wash it because it gets rid of the smell, but I can tell it does need a wash, and you know, but then again it'll smell nice. Just need all that to stay through the dryer. Unfortunately, it's a shame we don't have a vintage dryer to do it in. But hey ho, there you go. Oh, that's good. It's buttoned one into the other. Not like how my bedding ends up. Look how good that looks. 80s bedding in an 80s washing machine. Much as I love showing washing machines, vintage ones are my favourite to show. Which is my collection. Ooh. Do I just... Yeah, go on, that's the last of it. There we go, I finally finished that. Who's that? Now this, Lenor, I know how this gets. Oh, bloody hell. Ready? Oh no. Oh no. I hope this machine takes it in. Oh no. Oh no. That's probably not going to wash that in, is it? I'm going to have to put a bit of water in there. Just to sort of let it... Not to sort of let it settle a bit with it. That's the mistake I made with the last one. That's what comes with having to use that stuff, but there you go. That's mixed in now with it. Nothing, so we go. No options. Enjoy, guys. Well, I'm very happy to be back. I should be in for this, and then if I can get time, I'll move her out when I get the back on. Thing is, I wish I had a vintage lamp. I wish I had like an old lamp colour. Well, I did, but it all went wrong when I used it. It's already nice and hot though, so it's starting to steam. Oh, it's getting warm. Click off. An old vintage 1980s bedding and a vintage 1980s washing machine with vintage powder. There we go. Oh, that smells nice. Coming out of the door. That's the kind of wash flow you probably would have seen in the 80s. Now what I'm probably do is I'm probably not gonna fill the whole way with water because I want that to actually tumble properly. See, that's tumbling nicely there. I might cut off there, see? At least I know this thing can get on at 60, then that bedding should be okay on a boil wash. But essentially, it's new. I don't iron bedding, but imagine if we iron that with a 1980s iron too. That is so satisfying to watch that being washed. This probably saw this type of bedding, you know, if this thing was around since the 80s, probably was. Are we taking all the powder? Lovely. Nice. I know the sheet is a bit grey. It is very old, so. We're heating to 60 degrees Celsius, which I probably don't even think is that far off. I think we filled with really hot water. I was just saying, this model is the only 9.5 series I've ever filmed in my life. The model I've ever filmed is the 9530. Never filmed anything else. Just got one thing to add.
I'm not doing that now.
What are you washing?
It's dark wash.
I was saying, that machine, think at some point that machine would have been washing that kind of bedding. Back in the 80s, isn't it? And look, I thought I got an old 70s powder, look, so I thought I'd wash it with that.
Oh,
I haven't got any vintage conditioner. I do have that whisk stuff, but it smells awful.
whisk.
So I didn't really want to wash it because when it came out, I think it had that really lovely vintage smell. But I was like, it's been in storage with it partially open. You know, I mean, you don't know if it does need to be washed. You don't know. We've heated to, well, I say 60, but that definitely feels more like 70. That does. Oh yeah, we have gone way above. So if you add about 3, yeah, that's about 67 degrees. Wow. Okay, so the bedding's been washed on a little bit higher than 60. So then I know if this is safe, I know we can definitely boil wash this. God, that smells so good here. Then of course the rinses will all be full level. That's what teases Instagram. Distribution drain. What spins in like? Hopefully we'll be okay. Alright, first rinse. First rinse, deep, all being done at deep level now. Only because. Oh, just don't ball up is all I say. It's ball itself off as like a sheet now. comfort. Wow. Second rinse, this is. Okay, but the sheet takes over, like the bedding's been like pushed to the far back. That's the most annoying bit. And then when the machine spins, it like pops out in the front. And that bedding is in there somewhere. Timer reset. Right, so you for me to spin. Bedding's fine, it's on the front. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's alright. That should be fine. Bedding showing a bit more there. And then the third rinse. A little bit sudsy still. Come on, bedding, you've got to make it to the front, that's it. There you go, it's showing itself again. There we are. There we go, it's taking over again now. Absolutely wonderful. Third and final rinse too. It's still quite salty though. Beautiful. Nice coloured slips. Shimmy there. Nice and hold back over there, there we are. Final rinse. Final spin race on that would be really nice. I've had this machine for 8 years now. Don't do it again. For a rinse, I can smell the conditioner, so I can only assume we have taken it in. That's it. That's the finishing touch, that lovely bedding. We'll dry it, fold it away from, change my bedding, and then good. Still got to get the Becker out of the car as well. Maybe I'll do this when it's at 1000 RPM. Oh no, I want to film it coming out, don't I? Let's see, have we taken it all in? Not particularly. There's a few clumps. took the majority of it in. So I've cleaned out. Final spin. Art we all love. Let's see what we do. I think I hope good. That'll be balanced and smooth. Oh, that's unbalanced. I told you the final spin always gets unbalanced.
Like that.
Oh, she has to play out the final spin. Barbara does try to put on a show, no matter what. At least the bedding was in full shot for this one, right? Yeah. Oh, the sheets in that. That's why. Oh, smell of everything. There's a bit of vintage in that. There's a bit of the newer detergents. Everything. Barbara, you probably heard of suspension legs are a bit. Oh, they're still good actually. Anyway, guys, that's going to be dried in the Insta dryer, which is a bit of an old dryer, but not a vintage one. Let's see how it goes. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It was really good to have this for video. I have got another video I could do with this, but I don't want to do it now. I'll do it when she's back in at some other point. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow.